So, Rotten Tomatoes. When you have paid shills saying that something like this is bad, these people who just constantly, Disney, to them, Disney can do no wrong. But when you have the critics, now in recent years, we've kind of learned how the things work. Where the critics give it like an 80%, yeah, it's usually a bad movie. If the critics like this movie with all the hype and the certain themes, you think they'd be like, oh god. No, the critics apparently don't like it. In fact, apparently they gave it a 49. 49. And it opens up tomorrow, across the nation, worldwide. But Snow White bombs on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics rip apart Disney's latest remake starring Rachel Zegler despite early hype. I mean, it wasn't really early hype. They tried to make it seem like it was hyped, but no one was really. The video, reading the song, the comments, the song, I think that got more hype than anything else. If I saw this trailer on a plane, I would still walk out. That thing, yeah, that was more hype than the movie itself. The Snow White Shield Brigade isn't going to like this. Disney's Rachel Zegler-led Snow White remake splatted on Rotten Tomatoes today, and the results were far less flattering than the glowing social media reviews just a few days ago. That's usually how it goes. The embargo has lifted, and the truth is finally out. Disney's live-action Snow White has officially earned a rotten rating on Rotten Tomatoes, clocking in at a dismal 49%. It's a brutal wake-up call, especially when contrasted with the studio's carefully controlled early social media reaction. Also, off topic, but basically the Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out today, or came out, and the thing on Twitter, there's a lot of hidden replies. They are basically just trying to hide all the bad reviews or anything that people are saying to just make it all just positive. So, early social media reactions that bizarrely label the film as a triumphant return to form. Did they say the same thing about Assassin's Creed Shadows? All these gaming journalists are like, it's a return to form. It gives you everything you expect in Assassin's Creed. Shut up. And like every single headline was like, return to form. Return to form for Disney, and called Rachel Zegler supernova. Well, that's not a supernova. What happens? Supernovas explode, and anything caught within it is destroyed. So if you're calling her a supernova, as it explodes, things are just she was the supernova. She exploded, and she took Snow White with her. Snow White, say that was a planet or something. Snow White, that planet is gone. It's been consumed and destroyed by the supernova that is Rachel Zegler. So yeah, you can call her a supernova, I guess. It works well. This is a sharp drop in critical reception highlights exactly why the sharp drop in critical reception highlights exactly why Disney delayed lifting the review embargo until just 24 hours before release. The studio knew the real reviews would paint a far less flattering picture than the hand-picked influencers and Disney-friendly outlets who shower the film with premature praise. Not the only time they get premature. The critics speak. No magic here. And I've said this before numerous times. Disney used to be inspiration and imagination and innovation. Now it's just like, hey guys, remember that movie when you were a kid? It's being live action remade. Whoa, whoa, guys, remember Hercules? It's getting a live action remake. Whoa, hey guys, remember Little Mermaid? Yeah, you loved Ariel. Well, now she's black, but it's gonna be a live action remake. Whoa. Hey guys, remember Tarzan? They're not touching that one, are they? Especially the way the Disney likes to go by making the main character black. They're not going to do it. They're not going to make Tarzan black. But yeah, there's no innovation anymore. There's no inspiration. There's no imagination. It's just a bunch of soulless remakes. And then when you call this crap out, you're a phobist or ism. People are tired of having their nostalgia preyed upon. Hey guys, you remember this classic, right? Remember how you felt when you first saw this movie? Hey guys, you remember the way you felt when you first saw Snow White on VHS? Or maybe some of you are old enough and you saw it in theaters when it released. Well, you get to experience that magic once again, but with a live action remake. So they prey upon that nostalgia. And then every single time it falls flat. You know? So they're just a shell of what they used to be. Odie Henderson from Boston Globe. I had high hopes, high hopes, high hopes. That Snow White would make me happy. Instead, this dopey remake made me sleepy and grumpy. I see what you did there, Odie. Oh. Dark Sky Lady. I thought it was just Dark Lady. Sylvanas? My Dark Queen. I have a cat named Sylvanas. Little Dark Lady. With an uneven combination of forgettable music, bland choreography, and a few genuine laughs, Snow White fails to find and maintain its footing. That was from the Nerdist. Jonathan Itkinen, toysto.net. This is a film that tries very hard to not take risks or even acknowledge that risks exist. The result is a hodgepodge of awful CGI, contrived new songs, and a story full of plot and lacking substance. Now, these are like the paid shills talking. Abe Friedtanzer, Awards Buzz. This reimagining of a story everyone knows lacks imagination, especially essentially translating a solid text with the least possible creativity and depth. Even positive reviews are barely positive. You just see one positive, you like one review. It's like, well, it wasn't terrible. Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go see it then. Here are some of the fresh rated positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes for Snow White. We got Bob Chipman, Movie Bob Central. A slight but agreeable adaptation that, in its best moments, offers similar charms to a well-mounted theme park parade. Or maybe Disney on Ice? Tanya Lamb, Lola Lamb Chops. Good enough for kids. Because kids are stupid. Travis Hobson, Punch Drunk Critics. It's not quite fairest of them all, but hardly a poisonous apple either. Like I said, it's like, oh, it wasn't terrible. If that's really like the only thing. K. Noble Davies from Filmink. It isn't great, it isn't terrible, it's just fair. With friends like these, who needs enemies? These so-called positives positive takes hardly sound like ringing endorsements. Instead, they read more like faint praise. Well, it wasn't terrible. The kind you expect when critics are trying to find something nice to say about an underwhelming product. Yeah. Yeah. And you see the thing with games as well. It's like, well, It was nice to look at. So, oh, well, so that's good. I'm going to spend 70 $80 of my money on a game. Yeah, I'm glad it's nice to look at. What about the rest of it? What about the gameplay? What about the story? What about the characters? Well, it's nice to look at. Oh, okay, let me just go rush out there and spend 80, 70, $80. It's like that. It's like, well, the animals look nice. Um, the equivalent of going to see your friend in a horrible stage play and telling them that was something. Yeah, it was something. Did you talk to them? Well, they heard it. They definitely heard it. It's kind of like that thing. Did they listen to you? Well, they definitely heard it. The hype versus reality gap. The Snow White Rotten Tomatoes reviews are certainly a far cry from the over-the-top praise shouted by early social media reviewers who gushed both out of both verbally and gushed because you know because Disney can do no wrong. And whether it be male or female, these people will just come every time. They're like, oh god, this is the best remake so far. Who gushed about Zegler's performance and positioned the film as a triumphant return to form. Now that embargo is lifted, it's clear that those early reactions were more about access and optics than honest critique. It don't say. Disney likely knew that it was exactly what it was doing by keeping the review embargo tight. It was a calculated move to delay the inevitable flood of honest criticism until ticket sales were locked in. But with Snow White sitting at 49%, the facade has crumbled. The contrast could be starker. A handful of social media influencers declaring the film an instant classic versus seasoned critics pointing out its hollow storytelling, uninspired visuals, and a lack of creative spark. Now the question is, will audiences buy what Disney is selling? Or will they trust the reviews that finally tell the real story? Box office projections give us a strong hint that Rachel Zegler might actually prove the shill's right and be a true supernova, the definition of which is the cataclysmic explosion of a star. Hey, I said the same thing. Will she fulfill the prophecy? Will Goku be able to defeat Frieza before planet Namek explodes? Find out on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. The planet has 5 minutes. 10 episodes later, 4 minutes. I miss old Dragon Ball Z. That was like the best. It made no sense. It's like Frieza saying like 5 minutes, and then like 5 episodes go by. He's like 3 minutes. He's like 3 minutes left until the planet goes boom. Ugh, I need to defeat Frieza. And then he fights Frieza, and then he manages to cut Frieza in half by moving out of the way of Frieza's little Destructo disc. And then Frieza, who is purely evil, is like, oh, you need to help me. And Goku's like, oh, okay, here you go. Have some of my energy. He could have taken that time to actually escape a lot faster than what he actually did. But no. Well, you're clearly evil, but I see no reason not to trust you. Here, have some of my energy. And Frieza's like, you fucking idiot. I was faking it the whole time. Damn it, I fell for it. Hey, Cell, you look pretty beat up. Here, have a sensu bean. What the hell is a sensu? Oh, trust me, you're gonna need it. All right, Gohan. Cell, just, no, put it in your mouth. Crunch, yeah, that satisfying, yeah, you're gonna need it. Go on, come on. Come on, son. But anyway, sorry, just Mad Lemming, let's see. Is there Bunny? There's Bunny with a keyboard. Give it time, it'll probably drop lower once actual theater goers see it, or people who carefully screen Disney Plus before letting children watch. Now remember, this movie does have some trigger warnings, you know, about ominous trees and intentional poisoning. And there might be something about scary music or spooky shadows lurking in the corner. You know, so if you're triggered by ominous trees and spooky music, this is not the movie for you. But yeah, we knew this was going to happen. Once again, the people, the phobes, and isms who were saying that this was going to happen are proven right. Again, maybe people should just listen to us. Maybe people should listen to the fat, ugly incel, basement dweller, chuds, or whatever you want to, because we seem to be right more times than not. I don't do this for a living. I just like to pretend I do. But yeah, it's pretty mostly families. I've said before, don't underestimate the power of families who want to shut their kids up for like an hour and 45 minutes. They don't care. Kids aren't gonna know. They're gonna see the movie and be like, oh my god, Snow White, oh my god, look at the dwarf, it's dopey. When I grow up, I want to be a dwarf too. Okay, you do that. Ask some of the real dwarves who got blackballed here. Yeah, you don't want to be a dwarf when you grow up, kid. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me. 5 minutes. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.